Yes, good evening and welcome to the podium press conference for the men's Monster Energy Supersport TT1. Our podium this evening in third place for K2 Trooper Beer Triumph by Smiths Racing, Peter Hickman. Our runner-up for Quattro Plant Wicked Coatings Kawasaki, James Hillier. And our winner for Ashcourt Racing Yamaha is Lee Johnston. Let's go straight to Lee, a TT winner.
I don't know what to say. And for me, that is bad, because I always have something to say. But I think the biggest thing is because we've built the team from scratch this year, and such a close-knit group of people with really good sponsors involved. Obviously, without the people like Ashcourt and Burdens and East Coast Construction, that wouldn't be fit to happen. So it means a lot when you've designed the bikes and bought the bikes and sorted trucks and staff and everything. It's a very personal thing. So to come and win the Northwest and then win the TT on the bike is an amazing feeling.
Great. We'll come back and get a full word with you in a moment. We'll move over to Peter, third place. A double podium day at the TT is never a bad thing, is it?
No, never a bad thing at all. And the little K2 Trooper Triumph was going really well, actually. I was quite happy with it. Only did 2 laps on practice, or in practice on it. Yeah, I don't know what else to say, really. The bike was working really good. Usual myself, I was P7 to Glen Helen or something, so not quite fast enough out of the blocks, and yeah, just took a little bit of time to get into it, and I was quite happy, you know. The bike was working good, and I felt really comfortable, and definitely that second lap I'd picked the pace up quite a lot, and you know, I kind of moved from 7th up to 3rd, and I wasn't a million miles away. I'm not entirely sure how far Lee was in front of second, but I knew I was kind of within 3 seconds or so of whoever was second. So yeah, I was comfortable enough, and looking forward to the last 2 laps of the race. But that last second lap through Kurt Michael, I caught John McGuinness going into it, and kind of just sneaked around the outside of him, made him jump a little bit. But as I did that, the rain came down right through the middle of Kurt Michael, and I wasn't sure if it was on the inside of my screen or the outside, whether my bike was blowing water out or not, but it wasn't. And I didn't really know quite how fast to go, because I couldn't tell quite how much it was raining. It was running off the top of the screen quite bad. So I kind of just rolled off, and once I got up over the top of the Rencullen jump, then it seemed to clear itself again. So I got my head back down, and here we are.
Any changes you'd want to make for race 2?
Yeah, brake later, throttle on earlier.
Good man. It is your 11th TT podium, so congratulations on that. James Hillier, a 13th TT podium for you.
I didn't realise it was that many, actually. I thought it was less than that, so that's good news.
You had the lead initially up until the bungalow on the opening lap.
Yeah, I didn't quite believe the pit board, you know. I tried real hard in race 1 this morning to push on, and the positions and times didn't come. But I don't know, I surprised myself a little bit when I did see the pit board, and then just tried to keep that momentum. Just listen to the bike a little bit. I'm probably a little bit too sort of mechanically sympathetic sometimes, especially with the 600, to not rev it. But I can tell you that race there, I was hanging it out, just especially over the mountain, because there's a strong headwind, and just really trying to eke every last little bit out of it. And I said to the boys, I think maybe I'll try and lose a few pounds for next time, just to gain a little bit extra. But it's I'm happy, you know. It was it's been a weird TT so far with the weather and everything, so you know, I think we're lucky to get the races we got today, and certainly to finish the day with a 2nd place here is pretty good. I'm happy.
And any changes you'd make for race 2?
Not really. Like Pete said, really ride faster. It's always easy to sit here and say that, but doing it's a little bit harder. So we can look at some data, and I was losing grip in a few places, just pushing on. So in Glen Helen, and you know, it's easy to get waylaid and look at things that aren't actually the bike. It could just be the environment. So I don't know. We'll just see and rest up tomorrow, and then have another go Wednesday.
And Lee, you went to the Northwest 200 and you beat Alistair Seeley fair and square. You've come here and you've beaten Peter Hickman, James Hillier, Michael Dunlop, all the big names, fair and square. It must give you enormous satisfaction.
Yeah, can I firstly apologise for my son making all the noise in the background, if you can hear the laughing on the TV. Yeah, like I said on the radio earlier, to beat Alistair at the Northwest was really good, and to come here and race with obviously Pete and James and such like it's a big step for me. Do you know what I mean? Probably in the last 3 or 4 TTs I haven't really performed to the level of what I'm capable of or should have really for for the bikes and the teams I've had. So I've underachieved, really, to be honest. So to finally come back now and get a win and actually, earn it. So yeah, it feels amazing. And when I come in, do you know what I mean? I was crying like a baby, and the feeling is something unbelievable. Do you know what I mean? And only a few people get to experience that in the world, and I'm lucky enough to be one of them. Yeah,
slightly confusing finish. So there was no indication until you got onto Glen Crutchley Road.
No, me and Pete were actually talking about it. He did the same thing. There was a slight bobble, and yeah, it was. Obviously, it's one of them things, but to cross the line, and to be honest, at that point, I honestly didn't know if I'd won or not. I had to stop and ask somebody coming up the return road, and he was that excited he couldn't tell me either. He was just shouting at me, so I still didn't know. I had to ask the second person what the result was, but yeah, it's an unbelievable feeling.
We'll leave it there. Many congratulations. Our podium in this Monster Energy Supersport TT Race 1. In third place, Peter Hickman. Our runner-up, James Hillier. And he's now a TT winner, Lee Johnston.